My name is the Reverend Peter Paine from Great Yarmouth. I work in conjunction with Industrial Mission and Mission to Seafarers as a Baptist minister for the work of seafarers in the town of Great Yarmouth and King's Lynn. It is a great privilege to do that, but it's also a time of great need with seafarers at this particular junction. With the economic climate as it is at the moment, this is affecting seafarers far and wide in many different ways. Seafaring is a trade that has been going on since the Bible began, and it's a trade that will continue to go. But it's a trade and a profession that many people don't know anything about, or even less, even pray about. If we take it in this country that if we stop seafarers bringing the goods into this country, then it wouldn't be long before all of us here would really feel the pinch. And yet we are so grateful every day for things that are on our table. And it is one of my concerns to get the churches to pray for seafarers on a Sunday daily basis. I went to visit a Russian vessel that had come into Great Yarmouth one day, and normally, as is my way, it's to go up to see the captain and to see if I can be invited on the ship. You must remember that the ship is their home, and so where I wouldn't come and barge into your house, I don't go and barge into their ship. The captain actually refused me entry to his ship, and this is the first time that I'd ever been refused entry, and I was quite taken aback. And so I walked off the gangplank a bit sullen and sulking about this, and sort of wondered why God had closed the door. Shortly while I get to the end of the gangplank, I was invited back on board by the whole crew. And so I went back on board, and we had a great time of rejoicing and prayers. It turned out that the captain was an atheist. All the rest of the crew were Christians. And we had a wonderful time around the table of just drinking tea and praising God and looking at the Bible together. I went back to the Seafarers Centre and I picked up a copy of Why Jesus, and I took it back on board and I gave it to the crew, and I just followed their progress. They were going from Great Yarmouth to Belfast, so I phoned the chaplain up in Belfast and I gave him the information. 5 days later, I had a phone call from the Belfast chaplain with the first officer there, and he just tells me that, he goes, Mr. Pete, he says, Captain now Christian. And I sort of said to him, well, how did that happen? And they said, we tied him down in a chair all the way so he could watch the video over and over again, and he gave his heart to the Lord before we got to dry land. And it's just things like this that happen with seafarers, that you can sow the seed, but you don't know where it's going to happen or what's going to happen. It can be on this side of the world or the other side of the world. That God works in mysterious ways with these people. And that was just a wonderful story that I just like to keep around, because it just tells me that the work I'm doing, God is also in this as well, right from the beginning. I have got friends who work from Harwich and Felixstowe, and they deal with the cruise liners, and they're doing alpha courses as they go round, and so they get a part from here, and the next port they call in, they get the next part. By the time they get back to Harwich, they've probably finished an alpha course. And the last one we had, it started off with 3 and ended up with 12 doing. It's one of those ministries that, as I say, people don't know that goes on. I see myself as the outside in this Anglican ministry that I'm in here. I'm the only Baptist that is doing this sort of on a 3/4 time with them, and obviously I couldn't do that without the Home Mission as well. So I'm grateful for it.